So back with the Scion TC, and today we're going to be doing the brake fluid. So I got it jacked up on jack stands on the front. I'm going to do the back too, but the brake fluid I siphoned out of the reservoir as low as I could get it, and now I'm going to fill it up with fresh. And then you start in the back far corner, then you go to the next closest corner, and then to the next closest corner, and then to the closest. And then this also has the clutch cylinder too, so we're going to bleed that too. That's down in there, and that's the clutch master cylinder, which feeds off of the same reservoir. And then down here, my extremely rusty slave cylinder, and so I'm going to bleed that too, and get all 5 of those, so it'll be all new fluid through there. So this is my brake fluid here. It's pretty dirty. You can see through it, but not very well. This I have a meter here that you can actually check the brake fluid with. It wasn't too expensive, but it's one of those Amazon specials. I think it was like 20 bucks or something, but it works real well. I did test it out on new brake fluid, and it came up as 0.1% water, or less than 0.1% water, I believe. And then this here, it was at 4%, which is the highest it goes. It shows 1 to 2% being good, and then 2 to 3% being, warning or getting a bit close, and then 3% and above being bad. And on the 2021 Tacoma, which is 4 years old, that fluid came up as about 1.5%. So they say to change it every 2 years, but it looks like in my case it would probably go 5, but I'm going to go ahead and change it anyways. And to get it out of the reservoir, you can use a turkey baster, you can use a fluid pump, but this was the best thing I could find, because it works really well getting down inside, well, the crevices inside the master cylinder reservoir. And those are like, the dentist will give you those, so I imagine you can probably order those online too for pretty cheap. But yeah, here we go. Okay, so we're back 2 days later, because I decided that I didn't want this old rusty thing in here anymore, so I went ahead and bought a new ASIN slave cylinder for down there. And so I'm going to go ahead and change that out and just go ahead and bleed the clutch system and the brakes. I think I'm going to do the brakes first and then do the clutch after that, because the clutch comes up higher on the reservoir there than the brakes do. Kind of hard to tell, but it's higher, so I figure it'd be more likely to end up getting air in there, so I'll do that one last. And the part I got right here, let me pull it out. So the brake fluid, something I wanted to say is I did add a brake fluid to the reservoir. I siphoned out the, here it is. I siphoned out the old fluid out of the reservoir, and I filled it up. To the max, and then I ended up leaving it for 2 days. So the fluid that was in there was reading at 4% or more fluid. This is the open bottle that I opened 2 days ago. It was reading at 0.1%. It is still reading at 0.1%, but the fluid that I put into the reservoir, it absorbed water from the rest of the fluid and is now at 3%. Not 0.3%, but 3%. So without it even moving, just sitting there, it absorbed the water from the other fluid. So I'm going to drain that back out and refill it again, and then get on this. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing the brakes. So that means I'll start with the rear passenger side because it's the furthest away, and then to the rear driver's side, since that'd be the next furthest. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the back lifted up and get set up to do the first one, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I emptied the reservoir out of the newer fluid, and that's it right there. It's not as dark as the other, but it's definitely way darker than it was. I don't have another bottle to compare it, but I put some in the lid here, and you can see it looks like water. It's totally clear. So this darkness to this, that's water that it's absorbed out of the old brake fluid. So yeah, get some new stuff in there and do it quickly so it doesn't absorb any of the water out of the old stuff, I guess. So this is the fluid that is on the left. There is the fluid that sat in the reservoir overnight. It was brand new fluid, not overnight, sorry, 2 days. 2 days ago that was brand new fluid, just like the center one there. And just from sitting in the reservoir being in contact with the other fluid, it's leached the water out of the other fluid to the point that it's now bad itself. 3% water compared to 0.1 in this clear part here. So yeah, it's amazing. And then I went ahead and filled the reservoir here. In the reservoir you have this little screen in here. You can get that out. I got a lot of fluid in there, so I'm gonna try not to get it all over the place, but that, if you can see there, there's like a groove there. That part you can lift the strainer up and then rotate it to the counterclockwise, and that strainer will come out, and then you can get that syringe down in there and get down into the different areas. There's a separate back area here, there's a separate side area, and then there's another one back over here too. So the syringe is perfect because you can get into all three of those areas. So that, or a fluid pump, I would say. Even a turkey baster is not really very good because you're not going to be able to get down into the recesses there. So I would say that little, I think it's called a water jet, but that little jet syringe thing, that's definitely the way to go, at least on this vehicle. Probably many others. Here's a little bit better representation with some light kind of shining through it. You can see, I mean, it has some, it'll let light through, it's translucent, but it's not, definitely not clean, definitely not anywhere near the color the new fluid is. So it shouldn't be too hard to tell when the old fluid's not coming through anymore and when the new fluid is, because, well, the new fluid looks like water and that stuff. Man, I don't know what that looks like, but it's pretty dark. So we really didn't think this was going to go over without a hitch. This bleeder screw here, it's trying to shear between the threads and where the wrench goes on the wrench flats there. So I'm doing what I can to grab it down by the threads so I can twist it out there, hopefully without shearing it. And I got a couple new bleeder screws, so hopefully I can get this out of here, not have to buy new calipers, or even have to tap it out or anything. Okay, so it's starting to get dark on me, but I just wanted to get you a little heads up what's going on. I had to get some new bleeder screws. Unfortunately, nobody even had a pack of 4. The best I was able to do was a 2-pack. So unfortunately, the rusty areas is the back, and none of the other 3 really look like a problem. So if I can get this one taken care of, I think the other one should be okay. I did go ahead and pull the banjo bolt or line off of the brake line off of the caliper, because I need to get this out of here so I can figure out how to get this bleeder screw out of there, because it does not want to come out. I might end up having to cut it and use like an extractor or something. I don't know. This is going to be a fun challenge, but I have a tool here I bought that is pretty nice. You can put it on the brake line and it clamps down so that it doesn't leak. When I took it off, it didn't really leak. It dripped a little bit, and then I got it on there as quick as I could, and it's good to go. It's not leaking, so I'll be able to get this going. Not really like it wouldn't matter to get air in there, but this way, you know, it's not making a mess until I'm ready for it to. But let me see what I can do with this. So I thought I'd share this. When you don't change your brake fluid, it definitely has an effect. That water that's in your brake fluid, it starts to rust things in the brake system. So you can see this this piston, it's all rusty. Down inside there is all rusty. You can see here there's gunk that I got from the bottom of it, like rusty metal. So I really need to flush this real good. Yeah, it's not pretty. So even the bolt that goes through the brake line, that one is pretty rusty too. Let's see if I can show you that one. That one's been in contact with the brake fluid too, and you can see it is all rusted. Oops, sorry. That one's been in contact with the brake fluid, and you can see there it's all rusted up because there's been water in the brake fluid, so the whole thing's gotten rusted. So that's why you want to change your brake fluid. Maybe you don't necessarily have to do it every couple of years, but don't wait like this one. This one looks like it's probably the original fluid.